Welcome to our first Dance Basics video. We will be dealing first with the hold and body position, and later in greater detail to the figures in Waltz and Tango.
We are sure that many of the points we will make will be helpful not only to the beginner but also the competition dancer. However, before we start our teaching, please sit back and enjoy our ballroom demonstration.
reach a high standard of performance, great attention must be paid to the basic figures. Let's begin with the hold. Before taking hold with your partner, your individual stance must be correct. Think of the body, arms and legs as a unit and not as individual segments. If the center of the body turns, the arms and legs turn. You can feel this by extending your arms outwards and rotating your center. Are you in one piece? Now bend the arms into dance position and feel the rotation from the center and out through the elbows. This is very important to be able to lead your partner. The body can be divided into 4 major blocks of weight. We have the head, the shoulders and the chest, the middle line, and the hips. These should all be vertically lined up. If we lose tone through the middle line, this tends to cause the hips to either drop backwards or, worse still, to drop forwards. When the bodies are placed together, the lady should be positioned towards the right side of the man's center line. I will demonstrate this with Lindsay. It is necessary for both the man and the lady to have a slight body turn to the right. A good guide is to have the center line turned towards the big toe of the right foot. This helps to create the top line and the poise. Due to the lady's body being towards the man's right side, the feet will be slightly offset in relationship to the man's, creating 4 tracks with the feet. It's not very good if the center line squares up, i.e. dancing a little bit too square towards one another. We only have 2 tracks with the feet, and this restricts movement in the legs. The hold and shape of the hands are very important to create a good picture. Now do this. If you place your hands in front of you and turn the hands out from the wrists, the palms are down. The left hand can be placed directly into position. The right hand must be rotated outwards so that the palms are facing together. Notice that the fingers of the right hand are pointing down so as not to restrict the lady's shoulder.
The lady's right hand is hooked over the man's left hand. Take careful note of the line of the thumbs and how the palms are together with the fingers closed. The left hand is placed so that the wrist and hand are on top of the man's arm. The thumb should form a straight line from the wrist on the inside of the man's arm, without gripping.
We would now like to dance for you the natural turn in the waltz. We would now like to dance for you the first 3 steps of the natural turn in waltz. The technique for the natural turn is 1 right foot forward and 2 left foot to the side. This can be a little bit misleading, as in actual fact the feeling of the natural turn is of a forward swing. So we're using this line in order to show you the actual foot positions that we dance on. On the first step, we dance the right foot forwards and the body is commencing its swing forwards. On step 2, although it's a side step, the swing continues on our straight line and the leg is swinging forwards slightly to the left of the floor marker. The hips are now swinging in a sideways direction and cause the legs to close for the 3rd step. Notice that my body is slightly underturned and the body completes its turn at the end of step 3 as we lower. We're now backing the line of dance. On steps 4, 5 and 6, we're on the inside of the turn, and so again I anchor my body weight onto my left leg, allowing my right leg to swing open, and now dance again a side swing to close the feet at the end of the natural turn.
When dancing the natural turn as lady, she must always remember that she is on the inside of the turn and therefore must not step too large. The first thing to remember is that the left foot is the anchor. We stand on the left foot and point our right foot to the side. Notice how the foot is moving towards the line of dance and not strongly to the side, else this will stop the man from getting past you. On step 3, close the feet and ensure that the body weight stays forward. On steps 4, 5 and 6, the lady is now on the outside of turn, and notice how the swing follows the straight line.
And now we would like to develop this into the spin turn.
The spin turn consists of a pivot, spin, and a lowering action. When dancing the spin turn as lady, especially with an advanced dancer, we feel that we swing forward past our partner. I will also show you this with Stephen.
After the first 3 steps of the natural turn, we can dance the impetus turn. There are 1 or 2 points to cover on the impetus turn. Remember, for the man, your body is on the inside of the turn, although your arms are on the outside of the turn and so travel the greater distance. Must be remembered whilst dancing the heel turn that the arms must be free to dance with the lady's back. Don't hold them too tightly or fixed at the shoulders, and otherwise you'll stop the rotation of the lady to the promenade position. The man is dancing a heel turn, and I would suggest that you think of keeping the knees flexed, rising at the end of 2, and attaining the up position on 3. So keep the knees flexed whilst making the heel turn, rise at the end of 2, and attain the up position for step 3. Another figure which requires careful use of direction is the whisk and chassé. There are 1 or 2 important points for the man to remember when dancing the whisk and chassé. Quite often, the man does not lower the left heel when dancing the whisk. Of course, this is a very important technical point and gives him the stability and balance to move forwards into the chassé. When you're dancing the chassé, remember that as man, you should not make any turn. Quite a common mistake is for the man to turn his body to the left, and this creates too much turn for the lady. Generally, it always causes a little bit of sway to the left, as the lady has too much turn to make. So the points, once again: lower the left heel on the whisk, move forwards without making any turn for the man, dance the left foot to the side and slightly forwards, and no sway. Another very common mistake is that the fourth step must be taken on a toe and is sometimes taken on a heel. What I would suggest when dancing the chassé is to keep the knees soft on the first three steps, commencing to rise at the end of one, continuing to rise on 2 and 3, and remaining in an up position on step 4. The fourth step is a very small step and should just feel as though it's tapped under the left shoulder.
From the end of the whisk, we will dance into the chassé. This is quite an important figure for the lady. She will step forward and across in promenade position on step 1. Step to the side on step 2, making an eighth of a turn to the left. Notice how we are facing the floor marker. On step 3, we will make a further eighth of a turn to the left. However, the upper body will remain in position. The fourth step is dance side and slightly back, and control the lowering action at the end of 4.
We would now like to move on to reverse figures, starting with the telemark. And from a different angle,
the left side starts forward. Then notice how the right hip swings forwards and up, directing the right foot into position. Turn is now made on the right foot to end with left foot to side in promenade position. The sway for this figure is straight, left, straight. The bad dancer moves forward with only the right side leading. This does not allow the man to make sway to the left on step 2, and often causes the left foot to lift slightly from the floor.
the most common problems for the lady occur during the heel turn, where balance is often lost. When moving backwards onto the right foot, shape the foot inwards. Be aware of turning the legs and not pulling the left shoulder back, as this makes you heavy in the man's arms. At the end of the heel turn, your feet will be pointing to line of dance. However, your body must continue to turn to the left before you step into promenade position. Many ladies do not know what to do with their heads during the telemark. The answer is nothing. The body should rotate under the head. A good method is to see an object over your left shoulder and dance the telemark without losing sight of your object. You will feel your body rotating under your head. The next figure we would like to dance for you is the double reverse spin. During this figure, the the lady is dancing a heel turn, and I must be very careful not to move the lady out of balance. The feeling that I have is of dancing the left foot underneath the left elbow and the right foot underneath the right elbow. I can then spin on the right foot, ending with the feet together, and lower and take the next step. Lindsay would now like to demonstrate the lady's steps. Lindsay will dance a heel turn on the first 2 steps. She ends facing the line of dance. Although the next step is a side step, Lindsay continues to feel that she's dancing forwards. Her body continues to rotate, which gives her a naturally crossed position with her feet. She's then ready to lower on the front foot and step back into the next figure. We'd now like to dance our last reverse figure in Waltz, which is the weave from promenade position. When we dance this figure, our main thought is to keep the figure long and thin. That really means that I try to underturn and to keep my body with my right side back and my left side maintained in a forward position. This will be a very strong feeling when you arrive on step 3. I try to keep the right side back and the left side forwards, as opposed to rotating, which tends to block the girl who is beginning to move forwards. We'll show you this once again up to the 3rd step. From this position, we feel that we have a center line between our feet. The man is maintaining his position, moving backwards on this side of the line, and the lady is moving forwards on the other side of the line. It's also possible to end this figure in a closed position, in which case the man will make more turn between steps 5 and 6, thus closing the lady.
A common mistake made by many ladies is trying to swing across the man's line on step 2. This should be avoided at all costs. Try to swing forward and not across the man, which we will now show. This is cutting across the man's line and has restricted his swing. The right foot should have swung forward past the man.
Dance those figures for you, which we put together in a short routine.